James Bond is presumed dead after a mission goes wrong in Istanbul.
Take the bloody shot.
But when M and MI6 come under attack, he resurfaces to stop the terror.
007 reporting for duty.
Where the hell have you been?
Enjoying death.
Together, they fight a madman bent on personal revenge in Skyfall.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm David.
And I'm Leah.
And we're here to give you a shaken but not stirred review of the 23rd outing in the James Bond franchise called Skyfall.
Indeed.
With Daniel Craig returning for his third outing as Ian Fleming's James Bond 007. We have all just seen it.
Yes.
Who's going to take out the Aston Martin first and tell me what they think?
Me? Can I, huh?
Sure.
It was pretty much as I said it was going to be, that director Sam Mendes was going to come in and focus on relationships and give us emotional resonance, and that's exactly what he did, because Bond's been gone for 4 years, so he essentially had to reintroduce all of the characters to us, and he does a great job. I mean, the writing in this is very crisp, it's very British. The action is very tightly paced. He does a surprisingly good job of balancing the action and the quieter scenes. But the movie does feel a little long in parts. It's being compared to Goldfinger, and Goldfinger is a half an hour shorter than this movie, and I think this movie would have profited from being a little bit more economical in its storytelling. A James Bond movie, for me, doesn't have to be 2.5 hours long.
What we traditionally see in Bond movies where we have a master villain that is hell-bent on world domination.
World domination.
World domination recedes into the background and really is kind of a side element. Instead, what we have is this revenge narrative.
Well, since Craig has kind of come into the role, they've sort of basically thrown out the traditional Bond elements. There's some that are reintroduced here. You've got Q, of course, coming back.
Q.
007. I'm your quartermaster.
You must be joking.
But even he's a little bit different. I mean, he even specifically points out, oh, you were thinking about an exploding pen? We don't give out exploding pens anymore.
Right.
That's something we used to do.
There's this whole play about old and new and contemporary relevance, and whether, you know, Bond started with Cold War and then the Hot War, and then now we're dealing with War on Terror, and the old spy traditions that used to work
don't work anymore.
Don't
You're
work
right.
anymore.
And they clearly play that out in this story, which I think is very interesting.
So right back to, we don't have exploding pins anymore.
Yeah.
Can you get into a better position? Negative, there's no time. Take the shot.
I find all of that fascinating about this film, even though there were moments where it was very tedious, when we're bogged down in the Bond and M and villain kind of machinations. You know, the Bond franchise is almost kind of questioning and then reasserting its own relevance.
Everybody needs a hobby. So what's yours? Resurrection.
One of the things that I really admired about Craig's James Bond is that after a fight, he looks like he's been put through the ringer.
Yeah.
He's fragile, he's vulnerable. I mean, and not just the fact that he's getting beat up. Sometimes he tries to test his limits and finds out, you know, I can't
do it the way you used to, right?
I can't hang from an elevator for, you know, 15 stories. I'm going to get a little tired. And I, you know, you would never see that with Roger Moore. Roger Moore just be hanging on the elevator for 15 stories.
By a pinky.
And it's
no minutes, no wincing, none of that. It's like, this is so easy.
And there's lots of fragility to this James Bond, and it's constantly re-evoked in literally every fight scene that he has. The poor guy's just beat up.
And we've got some new people here.
Fantastic supporting cast.
Fantastic supporting cast. You got Ray Fiennes,
who's M's boss.
M's boss, and you've got M, Judi Dench. This is her 7th picture as M.
Is it?
She's long-suffering with James, but she has very strong maternal instincts for him, and she really does care about him deeply.
And this movie gives her her most extensive role yet.
Oh, absolutely.
As that character. Javier Bardem as the villain, he's a bit goofy. I mean, he's got a goofy side to him. He's got a sense of humor.
Right.
The script is painting it. That's fine. It's just, you know, I was expecting something far different when people were talking about him before we actually saw him.
I do think that there was a lot of nuance to his villainy, which made it more menacing.
I won't miss next time, Mr. Silver.
Not bad. Not bad, James, for a physical wreck.
Why, thank you.
You caught me. Now, here's your prize.
Let's talk about the director, Sam Mendes. We were all a little bit concerned about how well he was going to handle the action,
Right.
because clearly his background was very much in character development and relationships and emotional resonance. Other than Road to Perdition, which you mentioned,
Right.
I think he did a great job here. Like I said earlier, really tight, well-executed scenes of high action and high thriller, and then balance.
And spectacle.
And spectacle.
Just a stunning film.
Yeah.
Very much so. One thing that he sort of brings to the table is he gets away from the sort of Bourne aesthetic.
Right.
A lot of people complained about the shaky cam. I think it can be effective, but it's much more influenced, I think, by the Nolan Batman pictures. He cited
Really?
those as an influence.
He actually said that.
I've read that, and I believe that he has said that he was a
Okay.
fan of those pictures, so you can
Because
sort of put two and two together.
Right, because this did feel more like one of the Nolan Batman movies and much less like a Bourne movie. And Quantum of Solace felt like a Bourne movie.
Yeah, very much so. And Sam Mendes makes a great decision in bringing with him a cinematographer by the name of Roger Deakins, who shot movies with the Coen brothers, among
Right.
others, and it's the best-looking Bond film to date.
It
Agreed.
is beautiful. The way he
Stunning.
handles landscapes and spectacle from Macau to Shanghai and then London. I mean, it